don't like about it right now, it's way too sunny.
Meet landscape designer David Ross. He's here to give Maura that relaxing backyard paradise she's been looking for.
Taking out that tree just left you this big, desolate space.
Just a big, open, sunny, hot space. I'd really like to have a place that I could sit down, where I could do a little gardening if I want, or do nothing at all, which is what really appeals to me the most.
David's challenge is to break up the space. The solution? Turn the big yard into a few smaller seating areas, and do it all in just 2 days.
So we just need to break it up into a series of intimate spaces that you can enjoy with your friends. And each one will have its own theme. And it's just going to be terrific.
Great, I love that. I think that's great.
His plan? In the center of the yard, David wants to rip out the sun-baked patio and put in flagstone instead to give a more natural, organic feel to the space. But he's not going to throw those bricks away. On the right side of the yard, he'll create a sitting area with benches built from the old bricks. Over the patio, David will build an arbor made out of rebar. The great thing about rebar is it bends, so he can give the arbor curves to soften the hard lines of the yard. And he's come up with a way to cool things down. Misters that'll shower anyone sitting underneath with a fine, soothing spray. Under the arbor, a copper fountain will bring in the cooling sound of water. Next, seating areas. David's got 4 in mind. On the left, a bench among fragrant citrus trees. On the right, he wants to put a chair under the trees that are already there. In the back, a rose garden and a bench will go in next to the dogwood tree, and between the 2 bay windows of the house, David wants to put up 2 rebar arches with flowering vines. To make the garden seem bigger, he's going to ask his wife to paint faux arches that seem to just recede into the distance. This is a cool way to really add interest to this part of the yard. Finally, a new grass lawn and a combination of tropical and Mediterranean flowers will add lots of color to Maura's new backyard paradise. When we started, Maura's backyard was pretty much unusable. There was a sun-baked brick patio, a giant sinkhole, and no place to get away from the heat. What do you do with an overgrown yard that's got a bad case of sunstroke? Turn it into a semi-tropical paradise. Green and cool, with a one-of-a-kind arbor that'll eventually be covered in flowering vines. The mist feels great on a hot summer day. The fountain didn't cost a lot, but it brings in the cooling sound of water. And the recycled benches saved us money and still look great. On the side of the yard, Maura's new citrus grove is a relaxing place to read a book. Citrus smells good and is an edible way to add shade to a hot yard. Across the yard, David put a chair under the tree for another quiet getaway. And against the house, the hand-painted illusion makes the yard seem even bigger than it is. Hanging out here will give Maura a whole new view of her yard. A simple project with a big impact. Natural flagstone paths tie it all together. And oh yeah, we don't want to forget the bat houses. High up in the trees, these simple boxes are a low-cost way to make the yard a lot more pleasant to be in. A new grass lawn and lots of colorful flowers for that Mediterranean meets tropical feel Maura can finally relax in.
David, I am blown away by this transformation.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, you did an absolutely stupendous job. Did you have fun working on it?
Oh, it was just terrific. Every part of it was great.
Yeah. Why is this working so well for Maura? What did we do? How did we save her money?
Well, the rebar arbor really saves money over wood. And then the dry laid flagstone is, I think it's a lot nicer, and it costs less than half of what it would cost to put in concrete. And then we reused her bricks, made the masonry benches, and we did it in a way where she could really max out the use of them.
And just kind of hang out in that corner. Yeah, very nice.
So she's all set up.
Great. Maura, how can you not be relaxed in this yard? In fact, I think I can see a little bit in your eyes there. Did you have fun working on it?
I did. I had a great time.
What was your favorite part of the whole process?
Actually, my favorite part was doing everything, but my favorite end result is the dogwood bench.
Yeah.
And the misters on the arbor. I think that's cool.
Yeah, those are awesome. In fact, we're going to fire those up in just a second. But first, let's bring in the guy who made it all happen, Mr. David Ross.
Thank you for my yard.
You're welcome. All right.
All right, guys. Well, you ready to get misty for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure you are.
All right.
I'm Paul Garangelli. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Landscape Smart.